Gone are the days of just having a basic coffee maker and calling it a day. Apparently, we all now are required to have a fully functional coffee shop in our homes. And not just functional, it has to also be so scrumptiously aesthetic. Because if you're not also serving up vibes, what even is the point?
Stop. Be sure to like and subscribe. Please, we're on our race to 1,000 subscribers. I love you so much. Let's get into the video.
All right, I'm going to show you guys what I'm working with here. All right, this is my basic coffee setup. And this is me leveled up as a regular normie person. When I first moved out with my husband, we got our apartment approaching a year and a half ago, I guess. I was so excited to have this coffee maker bought from our wedding registry. I felt so blessed, and my only thing was I kind of wished that it did K-cups because I didn't even know how to make a proper pot of coffee. But then I was content with using monk fruit, milk, occasionally a creamer to sprucing up my coffee. Then I added a caramel sauce. Eventually, I got myself a caramel syrup. Actually, I had the caramel syrup for a very long time, and let's just say I think it was extremely expired by the time I threw it out recently. We don't need to think about that. But I got myself a peppermint syrup. Then I got myself a caramel drizzle, a different kind of coffee to try. I had decaf and I had regular Nuri protein creamer. And my current obsession has been the instant espresso by Nespresso, because I don't have an espresso machine, because I do have a mocha pot, but it's just such a hassle and I prefer cold coffee anyway. So that's my coffee background. I was feeling pretty good about myself. And then I made the mistake of going on to TikTok, where I was bombarded by the most beautiful setups. Everyone but me apparently has an espresso machine, and it is in fact making me a little jealous. But also, I don't need one. I know that I don't need one logically, but I feel like TikTok is like trying to indoctrinate me and convince me that I actually do in fact need a true espresso machine. Comment down below what your coffee setup is. I want to know, am I really truly the only one that does not have an espresso machine? When I'm addressing the TikTok coffee problem, I'm not talking about the Starbucks, Dunkin' consumption, coffee shop, like external coffee shop consumption and all the money that's being spent there. That's a different topic. I want to talk about even at-home coffee becoming somehow elite. As I scroll, I feel like I'm seeing patterns. In particular, I feel like I keep seeing these same glass pumps for the syrup. They must just be very trendy right now. Really and truly, it is giving me FOMO. Everyone has these beautiful glass syrup pumps. Everyone has a nugget ice maker. Everyone else has cute cups, endless syrups, and the one that gets me quite possibly the most, the disposable cups. And I'm fessing up here. I'm not saying it's because of the overconsumption of it all and the wastefulness of using disposable cups. I'm actually kind of confessing to the fact that I think it seems really nice to have disposable cups at your disposal, just at your coffee bar. I am envious of the idea of being able to make coffee and then throw away the cup when I'm out, when I take it with me out on the go. The aesthetics are just extremely tempting. They are making me want it all, specifically the nugget ice maker. The other day I did see a TikTok and it was like, POV, you decided to, upgrade coffee bar and it's like this nugget ice maker, and I clicked on it and it was $300. Seriously, look how cute these coffee bars are that people are setting up. Literally, it is just so stinking cute. I love the cute little cups. Now, this one's not even extremely overconsumption-y. The thing that gets me is actually the ability to have this space even in your house or home or apartment or whatever. My husband and I, we have a 3-month-old, and it is us and our dog, who is extremely determined to be underfoot all of the time. And so our 2-bedroom apartment, we are extremely thankful for, but I don't have space for a coffee bar, like a designated coffee bar space. So that's why I'm also like, well, how fortunate for you. I don't want to say, oh, how privileged, but like, that's very fortunate for you, but it's not me. And would I have known that this is something that I wanted if I'd never seen it? Probably not. And again, look at this girl. She has this whole wall that she's able to dedicate to this space. Like, that cabinet looks expensive. That, like, those shelves seem expensive. That Ninja coffee maker is expensive. The little hooks, the cups. Now it looks like she's got a very aesthetic life. We get a little peek at that at the very end. All very pink, very cutesy, very girly. It's fun, it's cute. It's not realistic, at least for me personally, at all. Here's another one where she's setting up her coffee bar. To have this like whole area in your home, to have counter space for this, how large is your house? Because I have decent counter space for having a 2-bedroom apartment, I feel like, and it is not, I feel like it's cluttered constantly, and maybe that's on me. Maybe I need to be more minimalist. I'm definitely not a minimalist. But this is also not giving minimalism at all. So I feel like the rest of her house is also, or home, is not very minimalist either. I can't decide. Like, if you have the space and the money for this, like, by all means. But like, even looking at this, I'm like, look at, like, those Nespresso pods are expensive. Like, so cute, so aesthetic for your morning TikToks. Like, I see those also when I scroll as a part of their morning routine. They're using the Nespresso pods, but I've looked into them. They're a bit on the pricier side. So I really don't have a problem with people spending their money on this if it's going to bring them like great joy. I just have a problem with it making people, maybe also myself, feel inferior because this is not what their coffee setup looks like. So this one, she's setting up this coffee/tea bar, and my mom actually kind of has something similar to this now, but for the longest time, my mom just, even though she is an avid coffee drinker, she just kept her coffee pot like on the counter, and now they have this extra space pretty much to free up counter space, and she's got like some teas in there, and like her friends come over and stuff. But my mother is much older than me. Like, she's like got money, disposable money that she did not always have. It's just interesting when you see these influencers, and maybe some of them are older. You know, I'm 24, and so a lot of them might be in their 30s, some of them might be in their 40s, I don't know. They might have more disposable income, and you know, again, that's fine if that's what they want to do with it. But it's just interesting because I remember growing up, like, my mom didn't have all this stuff, but like, she drinks coffee all the time. My dad also drinks coffee all the time, but he drinks it black and plain and cold often and old, like from the previous day, because he's crazy in the best way. That's how it's 0 calorie. That's what tough men do, is they drink their coffee like that. I've done it also for diets, so. Now, this one doesn't seem like they are even using too much space, but again, they had to buy the cabinet, and then they've got these little gadgets. They're cute. Like, they're making me want these spaces. I am like, again, I'm not like hating on it. I'm like kind of all for it, except for the fact that it's tempting me to make irresponsible financial decisions, and I don't want to do that. Paying off debt is more important to me than having a coffee bar at this stage in my life. So this next one gets me in particular because I feel like now we've got the overconsumption. These other ones definitely could have had like people removing all of the things. They could have slowly collected these things for their coffee bar. This is just how social media works. And remove it from that space and then go in and go, I got this cabinet now. And then they push the cabinet in, and then they put the coffee maker in and all that stuff, like things that they've slowly like acquired. However, this one, she's literally showing us that she's got all these Amazon and other various packages that she has ordered specifically for this setup. It leads me to believe that perhaps these were slightly more impulse purchases, or that they were specifically designed for a TikTok, because it is this performative nature of you get the box, you do the unboxing, all those things. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with an unboxing. I'm just saying it might tempt you to spend the money more so that you can unbox the product on camera and then you have content. This one is so cute. Like, it's so elevated looking. It's got like this pottery and flowers, and like, you know, the brick behind this is just beautiful. It leads me to believe that this person is quite well off with their little setup. And you know, this isn't as much totally just coffee, because it's actually kind of minimal with what is used for coffee. A lot of it is the decorations, but also like how sweet and how aesthetic is this setup, because you get to enjoy your coffee while you sit and sniff what are those, hydrangeas? I should know. I literally had them in my wedding bouquet. Here we go again. This is what I mean. There is no shortage of these kinds of videos on TikTok. And here we go. We've got the syrups that we are decanting, just like the fridge restock videos, if you guys remember those. And we're putting into more aesthetic glass containers. And then we have, of course, a cute little like sugar dispenser too. Like, this is giving more functionality to me. Like, I believe it has more function than the decanting of all of the fridge things. It's less outrageous to me, but I just, again, it's funny because it's like, oh, there's the glass syrup bottle again and again and again and again. All right, here we go. This is what I was talking about. This person has the nugget ice maker, and they have the plastic cups. How does it feel to be living my dream? And also, of course, the espresso machine. Duh. Let's just remind ourselves that the more that you spend on something does not quantify how much you actually care about said thing. You can be an avid coffee drinker and a passionate coffee drinker and not feel like you are any less valid for what you enjoy just because you don't have all of the gadgets and gizmos galore. And not only, again, the gadgets, but also a whole dedicated like shrine in your house just for coffee. If you don't have the space to have a whole coffee bar, if you don't have the funds to have different coffee beans and sprinkles and toppings
And the cold foams and the milk frother.
and all of the things that seem like you have to have in order to have a decent cup of coffee at home, just remember that you are not the one who's left out. You are the normal one. Most people are fortunate to have a nice coffee maker. I have a nice coffee maker that works for me just fine for my drip coffee. I have a mocha pot and I've got the instant espresso. I don't need a machine that is hundreds of dollars. And I feel like also TikTok like makes you think that this is like normal, that everyone has these espresso machines. Anytime that I like think about getting one, I'm just like blown away by how much they cost. I was at Best Buy the other day with my husband and I was like just glancing at some of these espresso machines and I was like, man, my goodness. And yes, it's an investment and hopefully it will last you for years and years, but it's not a casual purchase either. These videos can be aesthetic and fun to watch, but I hope they don't leave you feeling too jealous. Like I feel like I have been finding myself being jealous recently and I felt like I needed to just come on here and like talk about it because I feel like it's more common for people to act like this is normal and not being the one who has this. I want to be grateful for what I have and I want to recognize that it is like so much more than I used to have, and I want to be thankful and not feel like I just need to be buying more and more things and constantly looking for a way to upgrade the aesthetics of my life. Social media, it makes it the easiest it has ever been to play the comparison game. And I think we all know that comparison is the thief of all joy. So remember, be grateful for what you got. Try to take inspiration from others and be happy for them. But also if you feel like you're being jealous, maybe log offline and go touch grass for a little bit. Do these coffee videos leave you feeling inspired or do they just give you FOMO and make you feel behind? Let me know in the comments and I will see you guys in my next one. Mwah! Bye.